What's up, guys? I keep starting these videos and I'm like, well, this isn't my greenhouse, but welcome. I'm over at my friend Jess's house. We just finished recording the last week's podcast for the Growing Gardeners course that we're doing. It was so bittersweet. It's been so fun doing this course with her. We will have that available for you guys to purchase as a bundle if you're interested in that. But it's just been so fun, and we've been walking through her gardens. It is a beautiful day here in Arkansas, and I'm just drawing so much inspiration from her garden, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about. Oh, there's a big bumblebee. Y'all want to know my biggest fear? And you would think I would get over it. Bees. I know bees are great. I love them in my garden. I attract them to my garden, but holy cow, they scare me to death. Last year, I have to tell y'all this story. Last year, I was cleaning off a cucumber trellis, and I had my music on in the garden, and I had my hair in a high ponytail, and I'm just ripping off all my cucumbers off my trellis, and a bee got stuck in my hair. And the sensible thing to do would just stand there calmly and let the bee find its way out. Well, me and bees, there is nothing about that is sensible, okay? So I throw my hair over. I am completely freaking out. I start running up and down the garden, screaming, and of course it stings me on the top of my head. It was the worst thing ever. And I called Nathan and I was like, what do I do? And he's like, put mustard on it. So I go inside and I'm like squeezing mustard all over my head. I'm like, you idiot. So I just have a healthy respect for bees. They kind of scare me, but I know that they're necessary. But I'm out at Jessica's house today, and I'm looking at her greenhouse. All the beautiful plants in here. I've been touring her garden, looking at all the beautiful things, and I thought, well, you know what? This is a really good opportunity to talk to you guys about how I draw inspiration from my friends, and I think it's really important, and I think it's really cool. I will tell you guys all the time, don't compare yourself to other gardeners. Where you are and where they are, where someone else is certainly not the same. You know, where I am and where Jessica is, we're on two totally different playing fields, and that's okay. And there used to be seasons of my life where I would come, not to her house necessarily, but I'd see something and I would feel really discouraged because I didn't have that. And now I'm in a season where I'm just embracing where I am, and I'm feeling really good in that. And so I can go through Jessica's garden and I can look at everything and I can draw so much inspiration about how I want to implement that and how one day I want to do this and the potager garden, and just I can just get really, really inspired. And so I really want to do that today. I just kind of want to go through, show you her gardens, let you guys draw some inspiration from that, and just encourage you guys that it's really good to feel inspired, but have that boundary where you don't get into a spirit or a season of comparison, because what you have is valuable and what you have to offer is valuable, even if it's small. That's okay. Start small, do that really well, and then move into the next season. And I think that's something that maybe I just forgot early on, is I wanted to go all out, right? I wanted to be everything I saw, and I realized that's not my calling or my purpose in the season that I was in. So I'm in a place where I'm embracing the season I'm in, and I know one day I'll have something as grand as this, and the wait will have been worth it. She just planted, this is the leaf Greenstalk. This thing is really cool. She's got some chard, some spinach. This thing is just, ooh, look at all these leafy greens. That's amazing. I love chard, it's so pretty. The last time I was over here, not all of this had been cleaned out yet, and so it looks like they've done a lot of that. You can just see how beautiful this space is. This would be her potager garden. Got lots of perennials in here. I just love this space so much. Oh my gosh, this rosemary smells so good. Oh my goodness, look at her huge asparagus over there. Check that out. She just got all these purple asparagus. These are big. Some of these are huge. Wow, that's impressive. Alright, so Jess is grabbing a chair, but as I was talking to you guys about drawing inspiration and not comparison, I thought it would be really cool to get her opinion on this. Are you struggling over here?
Oh yeah. I'm trying not to knock over my Greenstalk.
Listen, I just showed them how pretty that was. Her greenhouse is not as full as I feel like I have seen it in the past.
I'm not selling plants this year.
That's true, because you had all the plants started for the shindig.
Oh yeah.
So I got
burned by the COVID debacle. Whatever.
Yeah.
They canceled the shindig, and well, it's kind of a bummer. So
that makes sense. There's still lots of stuff going on in here though, which is really cool. She was talking about how messy it was, and I was like, as every good greenhouse should be.
yeah.
So I was kind of showing them around your cottage garden and talking to them about the importance of drawing inspiration from someone else, but not living in a season of comparison. And do you have any good advice on that? Because we talk about often, like, it is good to draw inspiration. I draw a lot of my inspiration from you, but it wouldn't be fair for me to compare myself to your space because your needs are different, your space is different.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that in life, in general, whenever you decide to, like, wish you had what somebody else had, you inevitably will shortchange yourself what's meant for you.
Yeah.
You know, and I love what my friend Daniel says. He says, I don't want your success, I want my success, so I'm going to cheer for your success while I wait for mine.
Yeah, that's
You know,
good.
like, and I think that's so good because, like, this is my expression. This garden is my expression, and it was just right for this space, and it's just right for what what we needed. But it's not going to be what, you know, you need to build at your house, or what, you know, what somebody else needs to build in California or in Maine or you know, like, there's so many different places and climates and needs that you can say, oh, I really love what they did there, and I'm going to take part of that and sew it into my story and kind of weave it into what I'm doing. But I definitely think you'd just be shortchanging yourself to try to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Well, we're actually working on stuff today.
Yeah.
And shooting some vlogs.
We both paused to shoot a little bit of vlog.
But I will probably finish this vlog when we're back at my house. Alright, I just made it home. When I left my house this morning, it was rainy, cloudy, and gross. We had like a 75% chance of rain. And then after being at Jessica's for a while, that 75% chance went to 0 and it got sunny and hot. So I left my greenhouse with the heater on and the door closed. So I called Nathan kind of frantic and was like, hey, will you go open up my greenhouse? Worried that all my stuff was gonna be dried out. So we're actually gonna head out there and see what's going on in the greenhouse before I head inside and get bombarded with kiddos. So let's go take a look. You miss me? You're not even my dog, silly. I'm actually gonna go tomorrow and buy some more established spinach and some lettuce starts to fill up the Greenstalk. Oh yeah, things certainly cooled off in here. Sean came the other day, like I mentioned, and replaced the plastic on here. And when he did, he fixed my vent to where it was opening fully. It wasn't fully opening, and he's like, I think that's why it's getting so hot in there. So once he did that, I can tell a huge difference. I'm mainly just checking to see if anything needs watered, because it's been a couple days. Do you ever like leave your friend's house though? Like, I feel so inspired every time I leave Jessica's house. I'm like, oh, I need to get in my garden. I need to clean up things. I need wind chimes. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I love going to my friend's house because it sparks so much like joy in me. I feel like sometimes we can kind of get in a rut with our day-to-day. You know, like, I love what I'm doing. Like, I am truly doing what I feel like I am called to do. However, I feel like sometimes I might take that for granted, and sometimes I need that inspiration, and I get that by going to my friend's house and seeing how beautiful her space is and be like, I want to create a space. Then someone can come to my house and feel the way that, you know, I was feeling by her gardens. So it kind of gave me that little kick in the tail I needed to spend this week cleaning out the gardens. Just really, I need to be laying like all the trellis stuff down for the flowers. Oh look, I've got little nasturtium starts. Yeah, so I definitely need to water. I'm seeing lots of lots of dry trays. That's not good. Everything is growing so quickly though. It's so funny. I was, you know, talking to my friend Sean, and he saw my starts from the previous probably 3 years, and you know, for him it was easy to identify what the problem was, that it was just I didn't have enough good growing light in my greenhouse. But I was obviously working with what I had, you guys know that, and so just moving them out here, not having any light, which is what I get asked a lot, like, oh, do you not have problems with your plants reaching and get leggy? And I don't. Like, the overall growth of my plants have been really amazing, honestly, and so I'm just like, I've been so impressed. I mean, look at these little guys. Look at that one back there. He's a little overachiever. Look how big he is. I'll see that, Bo. I'm proud of you, little guy. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really having any problems. They're all looking good, doing well. I'm just feeling so encouraged, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that guy's a little dry. That's something I get asked a lot. How often do you water? Well, usually when I see that it's dry like that, that's a good indication that she needs a little extra something. Yeah, but I don't know, everything's just doing so well. I even have those on the floor too, but the ones that I've put down here, and I don't know what this is, maybe I'm just crazy, but the ones that I've put down here have grown so much faster, and I don't know if it's because they have the extra heat from the landscape fabric, like the black making it hotter, or maybe I'm just crazy. Which could very well be the case. So I spent my day at Jessica's, like you guys had saw. Tomorrow we have got family coming to town for spring break. Nathan's brother and his 3 daughters are coming to hang out with us, so that'll be fun for the spring break. But my plan for tomorrow is to separate out my tomatoes. I haven't really started a lot of my own stuff, and I did that because I figured I'd have extras, and since I'm mainly starting flowers, I have started my flowers, but I haven't started a lot of my vegetables, and so I'm going to separate those out tomorrow and kind of do a better assessment of if I need to start stuff, I need to start that, or maybe look into like buying them for my friends and seeing what they have available. Usually I overstart, and this year I told myself I wasn't going to do that, and I'm kind of in a pickle where I'm like, ooh, maybe I should have started more. I really don't think I should have, but yeah, tomorrow I'll probably go through, definitely separate out the paste tomatoes for our garden. I will probably go through and start potting up the sunflowers and the zinnias in 6-packs because they're just doing really well. And then probably start cleaning out the garden. It's supposed to be a beautiful day. And just really, we've got turnips to harvest. I still have Brussels sprouts to harvest. I actually should show you guys this. I harvested a bunch of them the other night. Nathan put on the grill. Some of them have gotten so big that they've actually just busted, which is crazy, but they've done really well. Look, I need to save this because I'm going to take you guys when I clean out the garden. I'm like, oh, I need to show you this. Oh, I need to show you this. And then it's like, Jill, leave the people something to see. All right, y'all ready for this? Oh gosh, if I can get it off. Don't be pesty. Okay, there we go. Y'all see that? Look at that Brussels. Yeah. So yeah, I've got lots of Brussels sprouts still to harvest here. Yeah, some of them didn't, some of them got nipped by the cold. We've just been giving those to the rabbits. But I still have quite a few. Look at this. You guys see that? There's lots of good Brussels sprouts on there still. But I definitely need to emphasize on cleaning out these beds. Because guess what? Spring is happening! Oh my goodness, I'm just feeling so incredibly inspired. I encourage you guys, if you're kind of in a rut or a funk, or maybe just needing some motivation, go visit a pretty garden. It will literally do your heart so much good. Like the whole drive home, I was just like, I love what I do, and I love it so much that I need to put a little bit more emphasis on taking care of it a little better. I just think I've been really busy, and that's a bad excuse, but it is kind of the truth. that some of the things that I really spend a lot of my time doing, like this time of year I spend a lot of time cleaning out the garden beds and like nailing down all my crop plans, and I've just been really busy this season, and so those things have kind of been pushed to the wayside. And I don't know, going over to Jessica's today, seeing her freshly manicured and amended beds, you know, and like her walkways were clean down the garden. It was just like, okay, Jill, you got to get this together. Like, you need that space to go to. I'm not taking care of my sanctuary very well right now. And so that's probably what I'm going to emphasize on tomorrow, is just really cleaning the bad boy up. I'm going to take you guys with me, and we can just kind of hang out, show you what's still in the garden, what I'm pulling out, what I'm amending with, and just preparing for spring. But thanks for hanging out with me and Jessica today, and I'll talk to you soon.